Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. One that might make you pause, reflect, and perhaps even feel a little uncomfortable. What if I told you that the greatest obstacle standing between you and your dreams is you? That's right. The person staring back at you in the mirror every morning, the one you've been living with, working with, and thinking with your entire life, could very well be your own worst enemy. Now, I know that might sound harsh, but here's the truth. We all have the potential to be our own best ally or our own worst adversary. The difference lies in the choices we make, the habits we cultivate, and the mindset we adopt. Success, my friends, is not just about what you do out there in the world. It's about what you do in here, in your mind, in your heart, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Today, we're going to explore a topic that could very well change the trajectory of your life. We're going to talk about how to stop being your own worst enemy. Because here's the thing, you can't outrun yourself, you can't hide from yourself, and you certainly can't blame the world for your struggles if you're the one holding the reins. So let's dive in. Let's uncover the habits, the thoughts, and the behaviors that might be sabotaging your progress. And let's replace them with something far more powerful, something that will propel you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Because you, my friend, are capable of extraordinary things. But first, you must stop standing in your own way. Let's begin. Let's start with a simple but profound truth. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. If you want to stop being your own worst enemy, the journey begins with self-awareness. It begins with looking in the mirror, not just at your reflection, but deep into your soul, and asking yourself the hard questions. Who are you? What do you want? And most importantly, what's standing in your way? You see, self-awareness is the foundation of all growth. It's the flashlight in the dark room of your mind, illuminating the corners where doubt, fear, and self-sabotage hide. Without it, you're wandering blindly, repeating the same mistakes, and wondering why nothing changes. But with it, you gain clarity, you gain power, you gain the ability to take control of your life. Now let me ask you this, how well do you know yourself? I'm not talking about the surface level stuff, your job, your hobbies, your favorite foods. I'm talking about the deeper layers. What are your fears? What are your insecurities? What are the stories you tell yourself that keep you stuck? These are the things that shape your decisions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. Here's the thing, self-awareness isn't always comfortable. It requires honesty. It requires courage. It requires you to confront the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. But let me tell you something, those parts, they're not going away. They'll keep showing up day after day until you finally decide to face them. When you do, something incredible happens. You stop being a prisoner of your own mind. You start becoming the architect of your destiny. So how do you cultivate self-awareness? Let me give you 3 simple but powerful steps. Step 1, pause and reflect. In our fast-paced world, we rarely take the time to just be. We're always rushing, always doing, always chasing the next thing. But here's the problem. When you're constantly in motion, you don't have the space to think. You don't have the space to notice what's going on inside you. So start by creating moments of stillness in your day. It could be 5 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes before bed. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, how am I feeling? What's on my mind? What's weighing on my heart? This simple practice can reveal so much about where you are and where you need to go. Step 2, observe your patterns. Your habits are a window into your soul. They show you what you value, what you fear, and what you believe about yourself. So pay attention. Notice the patterns in your behavior. Do you procrastinate when faced with a big challenge? Do you self-sabotage when you're close to success? Do you seek validation from others instead of trusting your own judgment? These patterns aren't random. They're clues. Clues that can help you understand the deeper beliefs driving your actions. And once you understand those beliefs, you can start to change them. Step 3, seek feedback. Here's the truth. Sometimes we're too close to ourselves to see clearly. That's why feedback is so valuable. It gives you an outside perspective, a mirror held up by someone else. Now, I'm not saying you should base your self-worth on what others think, but I am saying that the people around you can often see things you can't. So, ask for their input. Be open to their observations, and use their insights to deepen your understanding of yourself. Self-awareness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's something you cultivate over time, through reflection, observation, and a willingness to grow. And the more you practice it, the more you'll start to see the patterns that have been holding you back. You'll start to understand why you do the things you do. And you'll start to make different choices, choices that align with the person you want to become. Because here's the bottom line: you can't stop being your own worst enemy until you know who that enemy is. And once you do, you hold the power to change the game. So, take the first step, look within, and start the journey of becoming the best version of yourself. Let's talk about habits, those small, seemingly insignificant actions we repeat day after day, often without even thinking. You see, habits are like the threads of a tapestry. Individually, they may seem harmless, but woven together, they create the fabric of your life. And here's the truth: some of those threads, they're holding you back. They're keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Now I want you to think about this. What habits are you holding on to that no longer serve you? Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's negative self-talk. Maybe it's the tendency to give up when things get tough. Whatever it is, these habits are not just random behaviors. They're the result of choices you've made over and over again until they become automatic. And the problem is, they're working against you. They're making you your own worst enemy. But here's the good news: habits can be changed. They can be broken, and they can be replaced with something better. But first, you have to identify them. You have to shine a light on the behaviors that are keeping you stuck. So let's dive in. Let's explore some of the most common habits that hold people back, and how you can start to overcome them. Habit 1, procrastination. Procrastination is the thief of time, the killer of dreams, and the silent saboteur of success. It's that voice in your head that says, "I'll do it later." But here's the thing: later rarely comes. And every time you put something off, you're not just delaying a task, you're delaying your progress. You're delaying your life. So why do we procrastinate? Often it's because we're afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of success, afraid of stepping out of our comfort zone. But let me tell you something. Fear doesn't go away by avoiding it. It only grows stronger. The only way to conquer it is to face it head on. Here's a simple strategy to break the cycle of procrastination. Start small. Break your task into manageable pieces. And take the first step, no matter how small, because once you start, momentum builds. And before you know it, you're moving forward. Habit 2, negative self-talk. Your mind is a powerful thing. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And the way you talk to yourself, it matters. If you're constantly telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never succeed," guess what? You're programming yourself for failure. Negative self-talk is like a poison. It seeps into your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs. And over time, it shapes your reality. But here's the truth. You don't have to believe everything you think. You can challenge those negative thoughts. You can replace them with something better. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. Notice when you're being hard on yourself. And then consciously shift your language. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of saying, "I'm a failure," say, "I'm growing." Words have power. Use them wisely. Habit 3, fear of failure. Let me ask you this. What would you attempt if you knew you couldn't fail? Think about that for a moment. Because chances are, there's something you've been holding back on. Something you've been too afraid to try. And that fear, it's holding you back. Here's the thing, failure is not the enemy. In fact, it's one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have. Every mistake, every setback, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. But if you're too afraid to take the risk, you'll never reap the rewards. So how do you overcome the fear of failure? Start by reframing it. Instead of seeing failure as the end, see it as part of the process. Understand that every successful person has failed, often many times. But they didn't let it stop them, and neither should you. Habit 4, seeking perfection. Perfectionism is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it drives you to do your best. On the other, it paralyzes you with the fear of not being good enough. And here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. It's a standard that no one can live up to, not even the most successful people in the world. When you strive for perfection, you set yourself up for disappointment. You waste time obsessing over details that don't matter. And you miss out on opportunities because you're too afraid to put your work out there. But here's the thing. Done is better than perfect. Progress is better than paralysis. So let go of the need to be perfect. Focus on doing your best. And remember, success is not about getting it right the first time. It's about learning, improving, and moving forward. Habit 5, living in the past. The past is a dangerous place to live. It's filled with regrets, mistakes, and missed opportunities. And if you're not careful, it can trap you in a cycle of guilt, shame, and self-doubt. But here's the truth. The past is over. It's done. And no amount of dwelling on it will change what happened. What you can change is how you respond to it. You can choose to learn from your mistakes. You can choose to let go of what no longer serves you. And you can choose to focus on the present moment, the only moment you have control over. So if you've been holding on to the past, it's time to release it. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and make a commitment to move forward. Because the future is waiting for you, and it's full of possibility. Habits are powerful, but they're not permanent. You have the power to change them. You have the power to break free from the behaviors that are holding you back. And when you do, you'll start to see a shift not just in your actions, but in your results, your relationships, and your life. So take a hard look at your habits. Identify the ones that no longer serve you, and start replacing them with something better. Because you, my friend, are capable of extraordinary things. But first, you must stop standing in your own way. Let's talk about mindset. Because here's the truth. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. It shapes your thoughts, your actions, and your results. And if you want to stop being your own worst enemy, you must first shift your mindset. You must move from self-defeat to self-mastery, from limitation to possibility, from average to extraordinary. Now let me ask you this. What kind of mindset do you have? Is it one of growth, resilience, and determination? Or is it one of doubt, fear, and defeat? Because here's the thing. Your mindset is not fixed. It's not set in stone. It's something you can change. And when you do, everything changes. So, what does the mindset of a champion look like? Let me break it down for you. Let's explore the key characteristics that separate those who achieve greatness from those who settle for less. 1. A champion believes in possibility. A champion doesn't see obstacles, they see opportunities. They don't focus on what's wrong, they focus on what's possible. They understand that life is not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. And they choose to respond with hope, with courage, and with determination. And here's the thing, belief is powerful. It's the foundation of all achievement. If you don't believe you can succeed, you won't even try. But if you believe in possibility, if you believe in yourself, you'll find a way to make it happen. So start believing, start seeing the potential in every situation, and start taking action toward your dreams. 2. A champion embraces growth. A champion doesn't fear failure, they embrace it as a teacher. They don't avoid challenges, they seek them out as opportunities to grow. They understand that success is not a straight line. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, twists and turns. and they're willing to learn from every step along the way. Here's the truth: growth requires discomfort. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone, to face your fears and to push through your limits. But the reward? It's worth it. Because every time you grow, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. So, don't shy away from the hard stuff. Embrace it, and let it shape you into the person you were meant to be. 3. A champion takes responsibility. A champion doesn't blame others for their circumstances. They don't make excuses or play the victim. They take full responsibility for their life, for their choices, their actions, and their results. They understand that they are the architects of their destiny, and they choose to build something extraordinary. Here's the thing: responsibility is empowering. When you take ownership of your life, you take control. You stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You stop hoping for luck to change your situation, and you start taking action. You start making changes. You start creating the life you want. So ask yourself, am I taking responsibility for my life? If not, it's time to start, because no one else can do it for you. 4. A champion practices discipline. A champion doesn't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They understand that success is not about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary. They show up every day, even when they don't feel like it. They put in the work, even when it's hard. And they stay committed to their goals, no matter what. Here's the truth: discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's what turns dreams into reality. But discipline doesn't come naturally. It's something you have to cultivate. It's something you have to practice. And the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. So, start small. Set a goal, create a plan, and stick to it, no matter what. Because discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. 5. A champion focuses on the long term. A champion doesn't get distracted by short-term pleasures or instant gratification. They keep their eyes on the prize. They stay focused on their long-term goals. And they're willing to make sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. Here's the thing: success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about what you do in a day. It's about what you do over months, years, and decades. It's about consistency. It's about persistence. And it's about staying the course even when the road gets tough. So think long-term, set big goals, and stay committed to them. Because the life you want is not built in a day. It's built day by day. The mindset of a champion is not something you're born with. It's something you develop. It's something you choose, and it's something you can start cultivating today. So, start believing in possibility. Start embracing growth. Start taking responsibility. Start practicing discipline. And start focusing on the long term. Because when you do, you'll stop being your own worst enemy, and you'll start becoming the champion you were meant to be. Let's talk about responsibility. Not the kind of responsibility that weighs you down or feels like a burden. No, I'm talking about the kind of responsibility that sets you free. The kind that empowers you. The kind that transforms you from a passive observer of your life into the active creator of it. You see, responsibility is not just a word. It's a mindset. It's a way of life. And it's the key to unlocking your full potential. Because here's the truth: you cannot change what you do not own. You cannot improve what you do not acknowledge. And you cannot achieve greatness if you're constantly blaming others for your circumstances. So let me ask you this: are you taking full responsibility for your life? Are you owning your choices, your actions, and your results? Or are you playing the victim, pointing fingers and making excuses? Because here's the thing: the moment you take responsibility is the moment you take control. And the moment you take control is the moment everything changes. Let's dive deeper into what it means to take responsibility and how it can transform your life. 1. Responsibility starts with ownership. The first step to taking responsibility is ownership. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, "This is my life. These are my choices. And these are my results." It's about recognizing that you are the author of your story. And if you don't like the way the story is going, You have the power to rewrite it. Now, I know this isn't always easy. It's tempting to blame others for our problems. It's tempting to point to external circumstances and say, this isn't my fault. But here's the truth. Even if something isn't your fault, it's still your responsibility. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with the consequences. You're the one who has to find a way forward. And you're the one who has the power to change your life. So, start taking ownership. Start acknowledging where you are and how you got there. And start making the changes you need to create a better future. 2. Responsibility requires accountability. Ownership is the first step, but accountability is where the real work begins. Accountability is about holding yourself to a higher standard. It's about setting goals, making commitments and following through, even when it's hard. It's about being honest with yourself and others about what you're capable of and what you're willing to do to achieve your dreams. Here's the thing, accountability is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day and doing your best. It's about learning from your mistakes and using them as stepping stones to success. And it's about staying committed to your goals, even when the road gets tough. So, how do you practice accountability? Start by setting clear, measurable goals. Write them down, share them with someone you trust, and then hold yourself to them. Track your progress, celebrate your wins, and learn from your setbacks. Because when you hold yourself accountable, you take control of your life. 3. Responsibility empowers you. Here's the beautiful thing about responsibility. It's empowering. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop feeling like a victim of circumstance. You stop waiting for someone else to come and save you, and you start taking action. You start making changes. You start creating the life you want. Think about it. When you blame others for your problems, you give away your power. You become dependent on them to fix things for you. But when you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. You realize that you have the ability to change your situation. And you start taking steps toward a better future. So stop waiting for someone else to solve your problem. Stop hoping for luck to change your circumstances. And start taking responsibility. Because the power to change your life is in your hands. 4. Responsibility builds character. Taking responsibility isn't just about achieving success, it's about building character. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieve greatness. It's about developing the qualities of resilience, integrity, and determination. Here's the truth. Life is not always easy. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be times when you want to give up. But when you take responsibility, you develop the strength to keep going. You learn to face challenges head on, and you become the kind of person who can achieve anything you set your mind to. So, embrace responsibility. Let it shape you into the person you were meant to be, and let it guide you toward a life of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. 5. Responsibility creates freedom. Finally, let's talk about freedom. Because here's the paradox of responsibility. It doesn't limit you, it sets you free. When you take responsibility for your life, you break free from the chains of blame, excuses, and victimhood. You stop being controlled by external circumstances, and you start living life on your own terms. Think about it, when you're constantly blaming others, you're giving them control over your life. You're letting their actions dictate your happiness. But when you take responsibility, you take back that control. You decide how you're going to respond. You decide what you're going to do, and you create the life you want. So, embrace responsibility, let it free you from the past, let it empower you in the present, and let it guide you toward a brighter future. Responsibility is not a burden, it's a gift. It's the key to unlocking your potential, achieving your dreams, and creating a life of purpose and meaning. So, take ownership of your life, hold yourself accountable, and start taking action toward the life you want. Because when you do, you'll stop being your own worst enemy, and you'll start becoming the best version of yourself. Let's talk about discipline and purpose, because here's the truth. Success is not just about what you want, it's about what you're willing to do to get it. It's about the daily habits, the small choices, and the consistent actions that add up over time. And it's about living with intention, focus, and a clear sense of direction. You see, discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's what turns your goals into achievements. And purpose? Purpose is the fuel that keeps you going. It's the reason you get up in the morning, the fire that drives you forward, and the compass that guides your decisions. But here's the challenge. Discipline and purpose don't come naturally. They're not something you're born with. They're something you cultivate. They're something you build. Day by day, choice by choice, action by action. And if you want to stop being your own worst enemy, you must start building them into your life. So let's dive in. Let's explore the practical steps you can take to replace self-sabotage with discipline, focus, and intentional living. Step 1, define your purpose. The first step to building a life of discipline and purpose is to define your why. Why do you want to achieve your goals? Why do you want to change your life? What is the deeper reason behind your actions? You see, purpose is what gives your life meaning. It's what motivates you to keep going when things get tough. And it's what helps you stay focused on what truly matters. Without purpose, discipline becomes a chore. But with purpose, discipline becomes a mission. So take some time to reflect. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What am I passionate about? What kind of life do I want to create? Write down your answers and let them guide your decisions. Step 2, set clear, meaningful goals. Once you've defined your purpose, the next step is to set clear, meaningful goals. Goals give you direction. They give you something to work toward, and they help you measure your progress. But here's the thing, not all goals are created equal. The best goals are specific, measurable, and aligned with your purpose. They're not just about what you want to achieve. They're about who you want to become. So start by setting big, audacious goals. Then, break them down into smaller, actionable steps and create a plan to achieve them. Remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So take the time to map out your path to success. Step 3, develop daily habits. So identify the habits that will help you achieve your goals. Maybe it's waking up early. Maybe it's exercising regularly. Maybe it's reading or learning something new every day. Whatever it is, start small. Focus on one habit at a time. Discipline is not about willpower. It's about habits. It's about creating a routine that supports your goals and aligns with your purpose. Because when you have the right habits, you don't have to rely on motivation. You just have to show up and do the work. And remember, consistency is key. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and doing your best. Because small, consistent actions add up to big results. Step 4, eliminate distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, TV, endless notifications, they all compete for your attention and pull you away from what truly matters. And if you're not careful, they can sabotage your progress. So take control of your environment. Identify the distractions that are holding you back and eliminate them. Turn off your phone. Close your email. Create a space where you can focus on your goals and your purpose. And remember, discipline is not just about saying yes to the right things. It's also about saying no to the wrong things. So be intentional about how you spend your time and energy. Step 5, practice self-reflection. Finally, let's talk about self-reflection. Because here's the truth, you can't improve what you don't measure. You can't grow if you don't take the time to reflect on your progress, your challenges, and your successes. So make self-reflection a regular part of your routine. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what went well? What could I have done better? What did I learn? Use these questions to evaluate your actions and adjust your approach. And don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Because every step forward is a step toward your goals. And every win is a reminder of how far you've come. Building a life of discipline and purpose is not easy. It requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to change. But the reward, it's worth it. Because when you live with discipline and purpose, You stop being your own worst enemy. You start becoming the best version of yourself, and you create a life of meaning, fulfillment, and success. So, define your purpose. Set clear goals. Develop daily habits. Eliminate distractions, and practice self-reflection. Because when you do, you'll stop sabotaging your progress, and you'll start building the life you've always dreamed of. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, the power to change your life is in your hands. So take responsibility, take action, and start living the life you were meant to live.